Hello everyone. Welcome to English Storybook YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn about the importance and biodiversity of coral reef's ecosystem. Learn, enjoy, and stay with us for upcoming beautiful stories. For the best practices, you are kindly requested to imitate the sentences after me. Let's start the story. Underwater cities. Beauty of the ocean. Coral reef ecosystem. Chapter 1. What are coral reefs? Coral reefs are some of the most diverse ecosystems on Earth. People often call them the rainforests of the sea. They are found in shallow, tropical waters across the globe. Although they cover less than 1% of the ocean floor, they support about 25% of all marine life. Coral looks like a rock or a plant. However, coral is actually made of tiny animals. These animals are called polyps. Polyps have soft bodies. They are related to jellyfish and anemones. Most corals live in large groups. These groups are called colonies. The polyps take calcium from the seawater. They use it to build a hard skeleton. This skeleton protects their soft bodies. Only the top layer of the coral reef is actually alive. The bottom layers are the remains of past generations. Over hundreds of years, these skeletons pile up. This is how a coral reef is formed. Reefs grow very slowly. Some grow only a few centimeters each year. They need specific conditions to survive. They need salty water. They need warm temperatures. Most importantly, they need sunlight. This is why most reefs are in shallow water. Chapter 2. The polyp. The basic unit of a coral is the polyp. A polyp is a tiny, soft-bodied organism. It has a circular mouth surrounded by stinging tentacles. Most corals live in colonies. Thousands of identical polyps live together to form one coral head. Chapter 3. The secret partner of the coral reefs. Corals are animals, not plants. However, they have a special relationship with plants. Inside the coral skin live tiny algae. These algae are called zooxanthellae. This is a symbiotic relationship. Both sides benefit from living together. The algae use sunlight to make food. This process is called photosynthesis. They share this food with the coral. In return, the coral provides the algae with a safe home. The algae also give corals their bright colors. Without these algae, corals look white. This is known as coral bleaching. Corals also hunt for food. They have tiny tentacles. These tentacles have stinging cells. They catch small organisms called plankton. Most corals feed at night. They stretch their tentacles out into the water. This helps them grow faster. Chapter 4. Different types of reefs. Scientists divide reefs into 4 main groups. These groups are based on how the reef relates to the land. Fringing reefs. Fringing reefs are the most common type. They grow near the coastline around islands and continents. They are separated from the shore by narrow, shallow lagoons. Barrier reefs. These are similar to fringing reefs. However, they are separated from the shore by a deep lagoon. The Great Barrier Reef in Australia is the most famous example. Atolls. These are ring-shaped reefs. They usually form around a sinking volcanic island. Eventually, the island disappears underwater. Only the ring of coral remains, surrounding a central lagoon. Patch reefs. Patch reefs are small and isolated. They usually grow on the continental shelf. They are often found between fringing and barrier reefs. Chapter 5. Biodiversity and the ecosystem. Coral reefs are often called the rainforests of the sea. This is because they host a huge variety of life. They cover less than 1% of the ocean floor. Yet, they support over 25% of all marine species. The reef is a complex web. Every animal has a job. Parrotfish eat algae off the coral. This keeps the coral clean. Larger fish keep the population of smaller fish in check. Without the reef, many of these species would have nowhere to go. Chapter Z. Where do reefs grow? Coral reefs have specific needs. They cannot grow just anywhere. Most reefs need warm water. They like temperatures between 73 degrees Fahrenheit and 84 degrees Fahrenheit. This is why they are found in tropical oceans. They also need clear water. Clear water allows sunlight to reach the algae. Without sunlight, the algae cannot make food. This is why reefs usually grow in shallow water. They stay near the surface. They also need salty water. They do not grow well near the mouths of rivers. This is because rivers bring in too much fresh water and mud. Chapter 7. Why are coral reefs important? Coral reefs cover less than 1% of the ocean floor. However, they support 25% of all marine life. This is why biodiversity is so high there. Thousands of species of fish live in reefs. Sea turtles, sharks, and eels also call them home. Reefs are also important for humans. They act as natural barriers. They protect coastlines from big waves. During storms or hurricanes, reefs break the energy of the water. This prevents erosion and flooding in coastal towns. The economy relies on reefs too. Many people eat fish caught near reefs. Tourism is another big factor. Millions of people visit reefs to snorkel and dive. This creates jobs for local communities. Some corals are even used in medicine. Scientists study them to treat cancer and heart disease. Chapter 8. The threats to coral reefs. Coral reefs are in great danger today. The biggest threat is climate change. The oceans are getting warmer. Corals are very sensitive to heat. Even a small rise in temperature hurts them. Warm water causes the algae to leave. This leads to mass bleaching events. The combination of the thick trees, the lack of wind at the ground level, and the absence of wildlife sounds creates a feeling of isolation. Pollution is another major problem. Chemicals from farms run into the sea. This creates too much algae in the water. The extra algae can smother the coral. Plastic waste also harms the reef. Sea animals often eat the plastic by mistake. Overfishing is also a concern. If too many fish are caught, the balance breaks. Destructive fishing methods are even worse. Some people use dynamite to catch fish. This destroys the reef structure instantly. It takes hundreds of years for a reef to grow back. Chapter 9: The Future and Conservation. We must work hard to save the reefs. Many people are already helping. Some scientists are growing coral in labs. They plant this nursery coral back in the ocean. This helps damaged reefs recover faster. Governments are creating protected areas. These are called Marine Protected Areas MPSs. In these zones, fishing is limited. This gives the ecosystem a chance to heal. We also need to reduce carbon emissions. Stopping global warming is the only long-term solution. You can help too. You can reduce your use of plastic. You can choose sustainable seafood. When you visit a reef, do not touch the coral. Even a small touch can harm the polyps. Education is the first step toward change. Case studies about the world's greatest coral reefs. Chapter 10. Case Study 01. The Great Barrier Reef, Australia. The Great Barrier Reef is the most famous reef in the world. It is located off the coast of Australia. It is so large that it can be seen from outer space. It is the largest living structure on Earth. It stretches for more than 2,300 kilometers, 1,400 miles. This is longer than the entire coastline of Italy. It is a very busy place. It is home to over 1,500 species of fish. It also has 400 types of coral. You can find giant clams, sea turtles, and even whales there. Today, the reef is in danger. Scientists at the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority monitor it closely. It has suffered from many bleaching events because the water is too warm. The Australian government is working to stop pollution from reaching the water. Chapter 11. Case Study 02. The Red Sea Coral Reefs, Middle East. The Red Sea has a very special type of reef. It is located between Africa and Asia. These reefs are famous for being very resilient. Most corals die when the water gets hot. However, corals in the northern Red Sea are different. They can survive in very warm water without bleaching. Scientists call them supercorals. The Red Sea is long and narrow. The water is very clear because there are no big rivers bringing mud into the sea. This helps the coral grow because they get plenty of sunlight. About 10% of the fish in the Red Sea are endemic. This means they are found nowhere else on Earth. Organizations like Red Sea Global are now working to protect these unique species. Chapter 12. Case Study 03. The Mesoamerican Barrier Reef. The Americas. The Mesoamerican Barrier Reef is the second largest reef system in the world. It is also known as the Great Mayan Reef. It stretches along the coasts of Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, and Honduras. This reef is known for its variety of habitats. It includes beaches, seagrass beds, and deep lagoons. It is a critical home for the whale shark, which is the largest fish in the ocean. Nearly 2 million people depend on this reef for their food and jobs. It protects their homes from hurricanes and big storms. The reef faces many local threats. Rapidly growing tourism and overfishing are major problems. Conservation groups, such as the World Wildlife Fund (WWF), are helping local communities manage the reef better. Chapter Strategy. Conclusion. Coral reefs are a wonder of the natural world. They are beautiful. They are full of life. They provide us with food, protection, and medicine. We must treat them with respect. If we act now, we can ensure that future generations can enjoy the beauty of the reef. We must work together to keep the oceans clean and cool.